Okay, I should be good. Going down this way leads us to another Omega Metroid fight. Honestly, there's no faster way to fight these things. Technically, fighting the one I'm going at now would be faster if you want to get to the Death Fluid spot. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Oh. Oh. Okay. I want to get behind you. Up. Up. Nope. You need to be careful when screw attacking. Since you can keep them charging into you by screw attacking into them. So when they move away from you, you move away from them when you use the screw attack. And there I show exactly why you don't need to jump. They can actually stun lock you. Just get you to stop right now. There we go. And that's why I took on that one before grinding for full health. I would have been safer with full health, but if I was just going to end up in a situation where I'd waste it, better to just go for my best. Besides, we have our recharge stations right here. Ooh, missiles. That's helpful. And it truly is. I would be happier if I had taken less damage, but I can make do. Ow. You do 10 damage to me. Now I gotta go and recharge more. Yeah, the big energies restore 20. And thankfully the Varia suit helps, because the Varia suit does reduce damage to 50% or 25%. I'm not too sure. I just don't remember the number. So at my worst with an Omega Metroid, I need at least, I'd say 4 whole E-tanks. I can generally fix it at that point. But then that means I have to grind for more health. Thankfully, since this is the last Omega, this is the last grind session for health. So, that's a good amount of health that I can go into the fight with. Would like more, but hey. I won't risk losing any. Except to the Omega Metroid. And hey, for once, I don't have to worry about the shrill sound of low health, as I've actually played good enough that that hasn't happened. So, second Omega, same arena as the first. Might as well get it to start chasing. Ooh. You can get 2, maybe 3 missiles into their back before they turn around. And they always turn around to shoot fire at you. Also, if you're close enough, you can really hail it full of missiles. Whoop. I touched ground. Touching the ground is never a good thing. And yeah, sometimes Omega Metroids can be absurdly easy. So that was the 3 remaining Metroids before the final one. With that, we can head towards the fluid and go after the last one. And I'm not going to worry about recharging my health here, since thankfully Area 10 is merciful and has a recharge station, and considering I've kept my most powerful weapon, I'm actually a lot better off than I would be. Yeah, right here. Down here we go. And yeah, we're actually going through that room where we fought the last Omega Metroid. Yeah, this is what I mean by it overlaps a few times. Like, technically most of Area 8 would be covered by Area 9, and yeah, things just get a bit weird. So, heading up through here, we can see whether or not we can get those not those upgrades, those health and missile recharges, because we're going to need those. And, hey, we got that return of the sticky fluid. So, now that we have the space jump, landing in that will make space jumping harder. Not undoable, but hard. And there are invisible floor tiles, so be careful. Yeah, like right here, if you step in any of that liquid, well, most of that liquid, you'll end up falling through the floor to the floor below. Well, the room below, I should say. And let me just adjust quickly. Yep. Even right here, we have some invisible floors. Thankfully, not too many. And yeah, we have another room to go through. Thankfully, this is the final room to head through with the invisible floors and fluid. And right here, we have a fluid spot, but also we have a save spot. And heading up, yeah, we're in a bunch of it. And this is what I mean by it messes with your space jump. You don't jump as high, so it's harder to tell when you need to press the button again. And right now, I'm going to avoid these Septogs. There we go. Because here's our energy recharge station, and there's our missile recharge station. And what are these Septogs here for? Well, if I had actually screw attacked, they're there to help you. Primarily so that if you're falling and you conveniently land on one, you can screw attack back up to them. And this should be the recharge. Nope. Yep. This is actually the area I wanted to go to, because in going up here... Oh. You saw it for a second, but there was the head of a broken Chozo statue right there. So, yeah, somebody tore this apart, and they obviously didn't want us to have this. Yep, it's the Ice Beam again. We need this for the upcoming segment, and I don't see any reason to not take it. Veterans of this game, or anybody who's played the remake recently, can tell you why. So, going to the next Septog over, we have some Brinstar music. At least I think this is Brinstar. It's Brinstar or Turian. They're so close together that I often get the two mixed up. So, one thing I'm going to do to save myself some time, quickly give myself 2 save states, and then let's move on. Yeah, we have a very Brinstar palette right now. Well, I shouldn't say palette, I should say tile set. You caught a glimpse of something up there, and yeah, that worries me a bit. And what's this? Yep, we have more Metroids now. So, again, anybody who's seen Alien... Why did you take more missiles? You need 5 missiles placed directly into them during a single Ice Beam shot to take out Metroids. So yes, we have our larval Metroids back. And if you really want to know, yes, you do need the Ice Beam for this segment. If you go through here without it, you'll find that the final boss hasn't spawned, and that the game refuses to let you fight it until you defeat the remaining infant Metroids. Well, not infant Metroids, the larval Metroids. And yeah, this one right up ahead is... Come on. I know you're out there. Yeah, this one is the worst of them. Oh, come on! So I'm gonna need to make a quick stop at the health recharge station. Otherwise, I would just use the save state and go back and redo all this. But honestly, I'd like to go through this legit at least once. And the Metroids really hate to be kind to you. So yeah. And unlike the Turian Metroids, these ones don't give you your health back. Well, the Turian ones didn't either, but they at least gave you a health drop that allowed you to get your health back. Or missiles, plenty of missiles. So the final boss, to no one's surprise, is going to be the Queen Metroid. Why else would more Metroids spawn? So, the Queen Metroid has 2 ways of being taken out. You either go through 10, I believe it's 10, Morph Ball bombs, placed directly within her stomach. Getting there takes a lot of damage. So, yeah, with our current health, we aren't going to be good. As for the alternate method, which doesn't involve you going into her stomach, you instead have to deposit 50 missiles right into her face. Now, the bomb method is interesting, but I don't have the timings down to be able to reliably do that with minimal health loss. So instead, I'm just going to go with the missile strategy. Thankfully, had I not screwed up with that, though, this would have gone even faster. Thankfully, we can get back here quite easily. And if you don't want to worry about... Well, I was going to show, but then I jumped off the Septog and didn't keep screw attacking. But you can spider ball all the way to the ice beam room, which is in between where we went to begin the phase of final extermination. And the recharge rooms, so... Now we're back on our way as if nothing has ever happened. And don't worry, you don't need to go through the section perfectly, defeating an additional 8 Metroid each time. I mean, you can if you really want to, but I don't understand it. I really wish I could just... Morph ball in the air. It would help so much. So in heading back, it is a good idea to just, if you aren't strapped for time, clear out the Metroids, not worrying about if they latch on or not. And then returning and getting your health and missiles topped up. Especially since, for the 8 additional Metroids we had to fight. Well, that was awful. For the 8 additional Metroids we have to fight, that means you needed to spend 40 missiles. Well, this is concerning music. And when we jump down here, we find Her Majesty. Ow. Here's the main strategy. It's hard for me to tell when she's going to spit stuff at me or do the lunge. Come on. We need 30 missiles to go in. And yeah, if you shoot her like this, that's how you can go in and deposit a missile straight into her stomach. And her attack pattern gets a bit more aggressive. And by defeating her, you get a full energy top-up. No missile top-up. She isn't that kind. And during the entire time she's disappearing, you can't close your missile. So yes, that is all Metroids defeated. Except the Queen laid one final egg. And it's too adorable to just destroy. But interestingly enough, the counter hasn't increased. Yeah, no. Apparently the infant Metroid doesn't count. And I'm fine with that. They're adorable. And honestly, the remake does the reveal of the infant Metroid so much better than this game. But you had limitations, so I can't really complain. Plus, those blocks can't be destroyed by you, and only the infant Metroid can take care of them. So, Samus wouldn't be able to get out without the infant's help. They are a bit of a jerk if you are right on top of those, though. So, now we're back to the surface. Fully powered up. And, interestingly enough, if you tried to come over here earlier in the game, sorry, you wouldn't be able to. Like, you can get over to this side with the spider ball, but a damaging plane is lower during that stage of the game, so you can only get over here during this stage when it is much higher up. And it's just something about SR388 having a toxic atmosphere, so just game design stuff. And we're back at our ship. With something in our ship. Yeah, that's how we get to the end. So with that, we've completed Metroid 2. Return of Samus. As the credits roll, I have to say, I loved playing through this game. I absolutely loved it. In my first attempt at playing through, I loved it. Hands down, because it gave me the chance to play through an old Metroid game that set up the standards. Like, Metroid 1 was there, but Metroid 2 is really where a lot of the Metroidvania stuff got added. With Super Metroid being the main contributor. So, Metroid 2 furthered our progress toward the genre that I love a lot. And honestly, I liked how it handled progression. It was oddly linear, but you could go about taking out most of the Metroids in any order you wanted. As evidenced by me choosing to fight through Area 3 the way I did. But it also felt amazing to get through that type of a challenge, I have to do this perfectly, otherwise I'm going to waste a lot of time here. And I did waste a lot of time. But nobody will see that because those were all recordings that never happened. But in going through this again, I found I enjoyed it a lot more. And that's partly due to the fact that I now knew what to do. And I can tell you my exact clear time of the original attempt compared to this. Wow! Yep. Much like Metroid 1, clear at a specific time, or in the case of Metroid 1, I think, by clearing Metroid 1 and getting 100%, you got to see Samus, well, without the suit. And here, we get the same thing. Still unsure of how to move on from this screen. So, considering I did save there, let me just get us back to the menu. So, our clear time there was 2 hours. Just a bit over. In my original attempt, it took me over double the time. So that shows, one, how much it helps just knowing info from the top of your head. And two, I had to backtrack a lot for a bunch of items I missed. So I grabbed things as efficiently as I could. And with that, thank you all for coming down to my neck of the woods. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this series of Metroid 2: Return of Samus. Have an excellent rest of your day, and farewell.